As Brazilians, we are always being trained and pushed and being forced to have a slave mindset and to be just average, just someone that has a normal job, does a normal thing, and live a normal life, and is shut up about the government, is shut up about everything, is not allowed to make huge amounts of money, is not allowed to have a freedom, uh, it's not allowed to have anything at all, just live as an average Joe for the rest of our lives. And that's the reality of a lot of people in Brazil. People wake up, they spend like 2 hours just getting into their jobs, and then they spend like 8 to 10 hours inside their jobs. They are treated poorly, they are going through humiliations every day, and then another 2 hours to get back home. And it's quite frustrating to those people just to be alive, just to exist and be forced to have a life like this. And this is a reality for a lot of people in Brazil, especially in the big cities. But what happens and what I see happening most frequently right now in my maybe I'm biased, but in my surroundings, in the place where I live, the people that I know, they are trying to get out of this situation way. They are trying way harder than people in the past try to do the same thing. And I say that because all my cousins, my aunts, everybody I know, my friends, they are always thinking about this new business idea, starting this new project, failing a business, starting another one, trying to build something from scratch. Even I worked in a drugstore, a pharmacy, and and now I just live off of YouTube and the services that I can provide online. So it's I see a lot of people coming out of this place of mud and this place of frustration and this slave mindset. And what happens is, since school, we are not taught how to make money, how do economics work. We are not taught how to learn a new language. We are not taught to how to build a business from scratch. We don't know what leads are. We don't know what an offer is. We don't know the money models. I just cited all three books of Alex Hormozy. So we are not taught these things, and we are actually just taught, well, this is physics, this is an equation, this is a rectangle, this is a triangle, and that's all you need to know. What but why do I need to know trigonometry for? What's the point of trigonometry? If you start to ask these questions, the answer is because you're gonna get into college, and when you get into college, you need to know this. And to even get into college, the exam appliance is the exam is quite difficult, and you have to have this knowledge. But okay, but and after this, how do I make this turn my life better? How do I turn this knowledge into a better into to a tool to make me a better person? So we are never taught this. We are taught, well, learn these concepts because they are going to be useful in college. And yeah, but so what? What do I do with my life? We are never taught this specifically here in Brazil. And I've studied in like public schools my whole life, never paid for good education. Uh, of course, college, I had to pay college because in Brazil the system is a little bit fucked up. So public, free colleges are meant to rich people, and paid bad colleges are made for poor people. So that's the whole system. We grow up in a educational system that doesn't teach you anything at all that's useful. Then you are obliged to do college to be someone, and instead of going through another period where you can study for free, you have to pay for your studies, and you don't even know exactly what you're going to do with that degree. And I went through this experience myself, but I was always questioning. And I have a major in computer science, and that was actually good for me because I had a lot of time to think and craft and try new ideas and try new projects and code a lot and try to get something going on the internet and make money out of it. So that was good for me in that sense because I acquired a lot of knowledge, not because of college itself, but because of the curiosity that I have about how to make the knowledge that I am gathering inside college into money in my life, and how to actually change my behavior and habits, and actually accumulate some wealth. So I am not rich at all, but I am quite successfully going out of the slave mindset that I always had in my life. Uh, and the way I do it is by action and knowledge acquiring. So I study a lot. I acquire the knowledge to apply something in my life. So as an example, okay, I have a YouTube channel in Brazil, which is a Portuguese YouTube channel that I teach how to learn languages. And I search for new content and new bits of information that can be useful for me to grow my YouTube channel. So I read books about it. I understand curiosity gaps. I understand titles, thumbnails, copywriting. I understand more about second language acquisition. I understand more about what do you have to do to actually perform better in a second language, the differences between performance and simply raw acquisition and listening and understanding something. So I have to pause just a second. And now that I'm doing this way, everything is kind of changing for me. Of course, it took me 5 years to actually see some little result. 5 years of pure knowledge acquiring and action taking to have like my first results. And I really meant it because when I started to change my life in that sense, like I was working in a factory, and in that factory I was manufacturing beer, and which was very cool actually. But like I was meant just to be a random dude, an average Joe. And I started to think, I don't want this for my life. My life is, it has to be better than this. Like I don't want to like put ingredients into beer for the rest of my life. And I decided, I have to do something about it. And I started to study, and I did college, and I spent like my 5 years of preparing to college. And I spent 1 year preparing to college and plus 5 years in college. And in my last year in college, I decided that YouTube channel and YouTube was going to be my thing, because I've got to know what a person one person business is. I've got to know exactly how to build it and how to create money from the internet through this process of one person business. And it's actually quite simple, as I described here. I consume content to have a better and sharpened mind. I try in the real world exactly what I learned from books, so I can actually get results. From those results, I produce content, and from the content that I've read in the past, I produce new content, and I keep producing content and exposing my ideas to the world. And as people like my personality and my knowledge and my way to express things and my way to teach, they actually reach out to me and pay for my classes, which is quite simple. It's a simple process, but it takes time and effort. And there's not a big deal. Everybody can do this, but it takes a lot of time and effort. And especially in the knowledge acquisition, you just cannot acquire knowledge that fast. Knowledge takes time to acquire. And how can I express this? It takes time to acquire the knowledge. It takes time to apply in the world. It takes time to get results. So this is a personality building that really, really takes time. And because you're gonna fail a lot of times, and you're gonna try something else and try something else, and then you find something that works, and you double down, and you realize that, well, double down is, I don't get more results just because I double down this route. What should I do? So I try something different. So you start to build this this knowledge net, and this knowledge net is backed by the results you have, and then you express this to the world, and then you have a one person business, and then you can free yourself from the system. And that's exactly what I've done. Of course, I had help from my parents, from my uncles, from my family. I did not do this alone. It took a lot of help from my family. Of course, I have a great family, and they really, really helped me through this process. But it was worth it. It was absolutely worth it, because now I see myself as a free man, and I don't think that many men can see themselves as a free man the way I see myself. And of course, I have this huge belief, like this delusional belief, that I can do it. And I think that just by having this delusional belief that I can do it, that I can like break out from the system, just by having that in my mind, it's like a huge step towards that direction. And yeah, that's what I think about life, and that's what I think about the system, and that's the situation that we have in Brazil right now. People are just trapped inside this system, and they don't know how to get off. And I think that the world should know a little bit more about it, and that's why I've made this video. So that's it. Bye bye.